I want to ask about how was your shot?
Oh, it's good. Actually, because my doctor's away right now, and so he got one of the nurses to do it, and she's way better at doing it than he is.
Oh, really?
Bless your heart. It's just apparently like he goes like it just he gets it right in there, and I was like, "Are you done yet?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's already done." I'm like, "Oh, well, that was pleasant. Thank you." So love them both. Just saying.
One just wakes you up.
One just starts your day in a different way.
Woo!
Yeah. Honestly, one of the most important things about being an ally is just being a friend first. Just listening to the friend and believing what they say. Mm-hmm. So if they're saying, "Oh, this language is problematic," don't be defensive about it. Just listen to them and then learn why. Mm-hmm. And then you can say, "Oh, okay, I thought it was this," and then you could have a dialogue about it. But the first thing about being an ally is just being a friend first. In the queer community right now, I think it's really, really important to lift up voices of color. When I see events happen and I see that there's voices of color as keynote speakers, I'll make an extra effort to share those events or go. There's just a lot that people can take to educate themselves on issues. Mm-hmm. So just kind of watching the queer spaces. If you want to learn about being a queer ally, watch queer spaces. Watch what happens in the comment sections. Right. Educate yourself on why there's arguments and what's going on in Halifax in particular and in Canada and the rest of the world. So
that's a great idea. Mm-hmm. It's funny because I've talked to people and you hear questions like, one of the more common questions that I've heard is, I never know, I'm concerned because I don't know which pronoun to use in a certain moment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so my first go-to is like maybe ask the person, but I don't know if that's...
Well, and you never know in the moment, if it's a public event, it might not be safe to ask them. Right. In the moment, if you're just one-on-one with somebody, sure, I think it's okay to ask them. You could always just default to they and start training yourself to use gender-neutral pronouns because you can't assume. People could like to wear very, very, very feminine clothing, but they identify as male. Right. So you can't assume somebody's gender. Yeah. So I usually, if I don't know them personally and I haven't seen them post on Facebook and refer to themselves,
like it's very clear.
I'll just start using they. It's a good way to train yourself.
Okay. When in doubt, use they. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Hey, that is good. Yeah, when in doubt, use they.
So when in doubt, use they. That's cool.
I mean, I saw a post or a meme that said, like, if we can refer to the Pokemon differently as they evolve, or if we get mad at, like, people misgendering our pets, we can make effort to do these things for the people we care about, that are human beings with souls and feelings. And,
that is so true. So, there's a rumor that, actually I've witnessed it, that you are a musician.
I wouldn't call myself a musician.
You know how to play guitar?
I know how to play what I call the Christian chords.
Christian chords?
Yes, and that's like when you go to camp and you play all the same songs.
I know how to play Christian chords too!
Right. G, C, E minor, D. Maybe you throw a little A in there.
Yeah.
F. Oh no.
That one trips you right up.
I mean,
that's a tricky one.
I have small hands. I can't do F very well. So, I mean, I play a little bit.
So how do you find singing now?
Oh, yeah. I
heard you sing Cinderella just the other day.
Yeah. It's so different. I would need the help of my friend Leslie, and we're going to get together and do some vocal exercises at some point. I just have a lot of relearning to do. I think it has less to do with me not singing so much as I used to.
Like exercising?
It has less to do with testosterone and my voice changing, and more to do with I didn't keep up with it. Right. I didn't learn with my voice. I need to get back to that, and I think I can still hold a tune. I just can't hit the notes I used to hit, and so I don't sing the songs I used to sing, or at least I don't sing them in the same way. I used to sing "Oh Darling" all the time at karaoke in different places in Halifax.
Oh Darling, what's that song?
"Oh Darling" by the Beatles. Oh Darling.
Oh yeah.
Now I used to kill it. I used to bring the house down.
Because it is kind of high pitched.
Oh, listen, I used to bring the house down.
Can we go to karaoke?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God, we should do this.
Oh, I love karaoke. Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna make a date.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Can I just watch?
No, you're singing.
Everyone's got to
You're
sing.
singing friggin' strawberry wine.
Or we can choose a different, fruit cocktail song.
Thank you.
Whatever you want.
Do you want to talk about your top surgery?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So yeah, when I first started testosterone, I thought it was going to change my body in a few different ways that it hasn't yet. So I did realize along the way that yes, I will need some form of top surgery.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different kinds of top surgery. So for different size chests, basically.
Yeah.
So because I'm smaller, there's a couple of different procedures that are available to me. So I've basically got 2 little procedures that are going to happen in a row.
Okay.
Make an incision, take out some of the fat, and then close up the incision, and then they're going to kind of redo my nipples because my nipples are...
Like just so the position.
Yeah, well, and just so they look more like a typical male nipple.
Right.
Because right now they do not.
Oh.
Well, I can see that. Like women's nipples tend to be
They're
bigger,
different.
right?
Yeah.
Or fuller,
Yeah.
or yeah.
And I'm just ready for them to change.
Yeah, that's awesome, though.
So I've been waiting for quite a long time, and that's due to a number of different reasons. A lot of people go to the clinic in Montreal to get this stuff done, but of course I can't leave my business long enough to do that. So I have
Even
to
the
wait.
recovery, like how long does that take?
Well, it depends on the procedure. My recovery is only going to be a day or 2, really. But then I need to be careful for 6 weeks and not lift anything heavy.
Like those boxes of comic books, or
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I'm going to definitely get some help on Wednesdays for the shipment.
It must have, like, how did it feel the moment that you found out that it was actually happening?
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many instances in which I've gotten my hopes up and then had them let down.
Right.
So, in regards to transition stuff.
Yeah.
So, let alone the rest of life.
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 Oh God.
Life. Six coffee. Life. Like, memes everywhere. So I didn't want to get my hopes up, but I saw this big envelope come in the mail, and I took it upstairs, and I was like, I haven't opened this yet, but it says Summer Street, and Summer Street is where the QE2 is, and I think this is about my top surgery.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I'm gonna open it, and I opened it, and it was. And there was, literally written in handwriting was my date.
Oh my gosh! And
Yeah.
like you were saying, to be at the beach this summer
Oh my God.
and be able to just be free. We're gonna get a picture.
It's a trip. It's weird. Like, and to be here almost 5 years on T as well. Like,
Oh my.
I remember what it felt like in the beginning, and just how, you've taken so long. Like, people would say, "Well, you just came out, so don't worry about it. You'll get there." And I'm thinking, you don't understand. I've been trans since I was 4. I've been coming out for 30 years.
Yeah.
I've been in this process in my head this whole time.
Yeah.
You just found out because I just told you.
Mm-hmm.
I need tea now. And so then when I was gatekeeping,
You're like, I needed it 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Or
right.
like even
So
puberty, right?
yeah, so and that's why I'm actually just so happy that teens these days, if they need to go on hormone blockers to block that first wrong puberty, and then to be able to go on
Oh
the
my God,
correct
that's got to be
hormones
something as a
is
you know,
incredible. They don't
being
have
a
to go through
female,
that trauma.
And yeah.
They don't have to go. At least there is other trauma they will have to deal with, maybe if that's the way that their brain works. But that they won't, and that's to me is amazing. Now, also on the flip side, I have to say I really really value being trans. It's one of the most integral parts of me, and I never quiet it for anyone because it's so important who I am. Because I was brought up in a religious setting, I never would have the relationship that I've talked about my sisters so much already. They're so important to me, and I never would have been allowed to have sleepovers with them. I never would have been allowed to spend the time with them that I did.
Yeah.
I never would have been allowed to be in their cabin. I never would have been allowed to go to the birthday parties the way I could. You know what I mean? So
Have those like
have
intense-
those relationships
Yes.
with women
Yeah.
who are important to me, and I'm who I am. I'm the man I am because of the women in my life.
That's
That-
so good.
That is the truth.
Oh,
It is the truth.
Yeah.
right?
So,
That's good.
That really makes you think even about parenting and like sleepovers and relationships that we foster with our children or the types we allow in that way.
yeah, and like gendered spaces. What
Yeah.
does that mean, and why are they there? Because gender's in our head, and you can't tell that from a shell.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That moved me.
I love when there's these, I've been talking about these light bulb moments. That was one of them.
You're going to be able to look back and see, like you said, it was all building up to this moment, but you needed to have all those experiences as female.
Yeah,
And
I had to go through
develop
the
those-
whole thing.
Yeah.
And when I was first starting tea and I was first like transitioning, I almost went too hyper masculine for a minute, which negated a lot of me. And when I finally embraced all of me and realized that I wasn't angry at being trans and it wasn't an awful thing, I could actually embrace the things about me that I was able to experience because I'm trans.
Right.
And that doesn't just mean being born in the wrong body. I had those relationships because I was born in that body.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been able to.
You're
I'd be a
killing
different
her.
person.
Oh. That's
So
very
I literally
enlightening,
am who I
Like,
am because I'm trans and because I was
Yeah.
able to have those experiences.
That's amazing.
There is one piece of your business that we haven't talked about, which is the safe space
Mhm.
in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to.
Sure.
Talk about
Well,
that.
it's basically, it's a space that I just knew I wanted to have when I had my own business, which would just be a basic drop-in center, but a drop-in center for local youth, a drop-in center for people who needed it, a community space for people who needed it. It's more like Field of Dreams. Like if I build it, people will use it. I'm hoping,
Yeah.
and that's what it turned into. I'm really excited actually to announce that I've made a connection with the Cobequid Health Center, and very soon I will have a registered therapist just here for free to visit
No way.
with youth if they need to. We're going to have specific hours that I'll advertise where they can just come in and talk to somebody,
Oh, wow.
and they don't need to worry about paying, and they don't need to worry about anything.
Holy.
They just come in and they talk to somebody. So
That's huge.
in addition to that, it also is a closed book space for other registered counseling therapists if they want to book the space for private sessions. I also run birthday parties. I try to make them at accessible price points. We do lots of other just free community events, game days, rock painting,
Yes.
fun stuff. We
I've come in
host
and
some
played.
meditation.
That's right.
Right?
Symbols. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Meditation. Yeah.
That's right. So we just try to offer what the community wants.
That's awesome.
Goodness.
Jay, thank you so much
Oh.
So good.
for this.
Hey, anytime.
Seriously.
I love gabbing, as you can tell.
Oh, it's
We
good.
love it too. So Tara, as we show off our fancy shirts.
Yes,
We hung out with a bit of a superhero today.
we did.
Jay,
We totally did.
so good.
Uh-huh.
But we just wanted to close out and say thank you, Jay. He's not here now because we went and checked out a store. Actually, that was awesome.
It was.
Very intentional space. It's amazing.
Yeah. Totally check it out.
Yes, Cape and Cal on Sackville Drive across from McDonald's. But we just want to say thank you from the Mouthymamas. Please subscribe, like our page, share with all the people,
All the things.
get the notifications, tell all the people you know, all that good stuff. So thank you very much and have a great week.
Peace out.
Peace.